What if I told you the US government is about to become one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world, and it's going to happen sooner than anyone expects? I'm Marty Bent, host of the TFTC podcast and founder of 1031. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 3 massive developments that signal a fundamental shift in Bitcoin adoption, how Elon Musk and Congress are pushing for Bitcoin in our national reserves, why Trump's executive order changes everything, and what Iran's mining strategy combined with America's job boom tells us about Bitcoin's future. Let's start with something that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. Elon Musk has proposed upgrading U.S. gold reserves with Bitcoin. Now, this isn't just another Musk tweet moving markets. His proposal came right as discussions about auditing Fort Knox were heating up, and it's perfectly timed with Senator Cynthia Lummis's push for a U.S. Bitcoin reserve. The idea of Bitcoin as digital gold is nothing new to Bitcoiners, but now it's being seriously discussed in the halls of power. Lummis isn't just talking, she's pushing for concrete action, wanting the Treasury to acquire Bitcoin alongside traditional assets like gold. This isn't about just buying Bitcoin, it's about establishing an entirely new framework for managing national wealth in the digital age. Sure, there are challenges. Security concerns, volatility, and the complexity of safeguarding digital assets are all real issues that need to be addressed. But when you have figures like Musk and Lummis pushing for this kind of fundamental change, you know something bigger is brewing. But before I tell you about the executive order that just changed everything, let me warn you. What's coming next is going to reshape how we think about national reserves forever. Just days after Musk's proposal, President Trump dropped a bombshell, an executive order forming a digital asset working group. But this isn't your typical government committee. This is about establishing America's first cryptocurrency stockpile, and Senator Lummis is leading the charge with a bill that would make your head spin. Here's what they're planning. The U.S. Treasury would acquire 200,000 Bitcoins each year for 5 years. That's 1 million Bitcoins total, roughly 5% of Bitcoin's current supply. And here's the kicker. They're not planning to use taxpayer money. The funding would come from Federal Reserve Bank's deposits and gold holdings, marking a historic shift from traditional asset management to digital wealth preservation. The implications are massive. When the world's largest economy decides to hold Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, it fundamentally changes the game theory of national adoption. Every other country will be forced to consider their position, wait too long, and they'll be buying at much higher prices. This isn't just about investment returns anymore. It's about maintaining economic relevance in a rapidly digitizing world.
Bitcoin may be making inroads into that. Certainly, that's a welcome development, but it's not the whole market. So don't put the cart before the horse. Understand how the rest of the world outside of your little solipsistic or meocentric universe operates, and realize that there's a big world out there and there's tens of trillions of dollars moving through the Forex markets every day. And I got news for you. A lot of people are hedging their risk with gold. And if they're actively suppressing the gold price, it's in order to, because they're trying to protect their other assets, and they're lower quality assets than gold, even if you think gold is a lower quality asset than Bitcoin. Right. Yeah. And this is not a black or white thing. This is not I can prove to you with the logic that Bitcoin's better than gold, therefore Bitcoin will win. It's not part of the argument. It's not what's going on a daily basis. At the end of the day, if a fund manager has to he's got a prospectus that he's got to follow. He's got a plan he has to follow. There's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, and as Bitcoiners,
a lot of people just don't understand this.
Now, while America debates this massive move into Bitcoin, other countries aren't waiting around. Iran has already shown us exactly why Bitcoin matters on the global stage, and what they're doing with mining operations is going to shock you. Iran isn't just mining Bitcoin, they're rewriting the rules of international finance. With their oil exports strangled by sanctions, they've turned to Bitcoin mining as a lifeline. The country's cheap electricity and abundant computing power aren't just creating digital wealth, they're demonstrating how nations can operate outside traditional financial controls. This isn't just about Iran, though. When a nation can turn excess energy into digital assets that can't be frozen or seized, it changes the entire game of international relations. The U.S. government's concern isn't just about sanctions being bypassed, it's about what happens when every nation realizes they can do the same thing. But here's where it gets really interesting. While this international drama is playing out, something unprecedented is happening right here in America. The Bitcoin mining industry has created over 31,000 new jobs. We're not talking about basement operations. These are high-tech positions, administrative roles, and infrastructure jobs building tomorrow's economy. State legislators have noticed. Several states are now considering their own Bitcoin reserves, not just as investments, but as a way to attract mining operations and foster innovation. They're realizing that embracing Bitcoin means attracting talent, generating tax revenue, and positioning themselves at the forefront of the next industrial revolution. Sure, everyone's talking about energy concerns and sustainability, But smart states are already solving this, creating frameworks that encourage renewable energy use and sustainable mining practices. The real question isn't whether states should embrace Bitcoin mining, it's whether they can afford not to. The future of state-level Bitcoin adoption is coming faster than anyone expected, and you need to understand what it means for your Bitcoin strategy. This is Marty Bent reminding you that while everyone else is watching the price, the real action is happening in plain sight. Don't get left behind. Let me know if you think the US government will start buying Bitcoin before other nations in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found this discussion about national Bitcoin reserves interesting, you'll want to watch my breakdown with Tom Luongo, where he explains how Bitcoin and gold complement each other in sovereign reserves. Click the video on your screen now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily content. Thanks for watching. Stay humble, stack sats.